the reason that the new generation is stumbling upon every step they do is they're not being taught to be disciplined from an early age. As soon as I step out of my house every day, every morning, and I see people driving, different cars, faster cars, and living in places that cost at least from a million and up, and it can go to hundreds of millions, I would say this is the type of energy that gives me to move, because I see that I'm not there yet.
Welcome back to the Underdawgs channel. Hope everyone's had a great night. We have 61 followers and we really appreciate everybody that's joined our channel. It means the world to us. The support, it doesn't go unnoticed. We shoot these podcasts every week for you guys to see unsuccessful men follow their journey to become successful and what it means to be successful in life. Vlad, you brought a special guest on today. Introduce him for us.
I will, but before I make the introduction, I want to make a few slight corrections to your statement. First of all, we have 63 fucking subscribers, okay?
Okay.
We just canceled out 2 people.
What did you say, 61?
Yeah, 61. I thought there were 61 this morning. So who was the other 2 that followed?
I don't know, bro, but everyone is important to us. Every single one of you who's watching us, we appreciate every single one of you. And the second amendment to the statement, if you don't mind, is I don't think we're unsuccessful, bro. I don't think we have had all of our successes yet. And that's what this channel is about. If you want to follow all those big channels with a lot of followers and people that forgot what it means to be us, you can go ahead and leave this video, leave this channel. But if you stay with us, you will witness the journey of the people just like you. And today we have super young and super successful guests. Adrian, I want to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how long you've been in this country.
So Vlad, you gave me a really good introduction. I'm a humble guy, but I'll be straightforward on this. So when I came to this country, it was actually 3 years ago. And from the first step that I took and passed on American soil, I said, this is the place that I would like to thrive, I would like to inspire, and I would like to evolve. And over the past years that I've been here, I've been starting my business, I've been trying to help people in need, people that ask me for advice, and people that have been here more than me. But the way that I'm able to, get a hold of their situations they've been through life is that I listen and I try to be better than them sometimes. I take all those issues that happened with them and I think ahead of time not to stumble upon them,
Yeah.
Just to pass like a bunny, go over a few levels like this,
Not to cut you off, what do you do? In the few words, if you could just say, what do you do?
So what I do here is I help people get credit, get access to credit, and get access to building their dreams and achieving them through right advice.
And helping them achieving that. I'm just gonna go straight to it. We should probably wait with this question, but
Go ahead.
just to show the audience what you can do at the age, at this age, how much can it make you, or how much does someone like you can make a year doing what you do?
So this year I did $500,000 in gross revenue.
Wow.
My income has been growing fast over the course of these 3 years. So in the first year, I started with around 60,000 in gross revenue. Then I got to 250. And as I said, in the previous year, I want to double it. This is what I want to keep going for 2027 as well. I want to evolve it, and probably, if I'm good, I would like to triple, maybe even quadruple it.
That's awesome. And if you guys would have to guess, because Adrian, how I met him, he bought an AMG for me. And he's been here, as you heard, 3 years, and he bought $110,000 car. His credit, I'll just say it on your behalf, just because of what you do, actually helping other people to build credit. The guy has 800 credit score, and he at least AMG for 110 grand. So how old do you think he is? And I know he might not like to bring up his age because he's a mature guy and he has a certain expertise, and people can be like sensitive about dealing with someone who is young. But if you would have to throw your guesses.
26.
I'm getting there.
I'll say 23.
Yeah, you hit it. Yeah, it's 23.
Very
I
young.
didn't tell him that you're 23, but
Yeah, he
you're
didn't
very
mention it.
mature for your age, and you attack this life like a fucking shark. So how do you do this? Where do you take your courage, and where do you take the ambition, like, to move this fast? Because it's only 3 years. So we're gonna ask you more concrete questions, but just on a philosophical level, what pushes you every day?
So, it's seeing that I'm doing something. It's from an early age, I was told, you gotta do something more than we did as parents and grandparents. So I did not have this example of seeing somebody at the level I am, but as soon as I step out of my house every day, every morning, and I see people driving, different cars, faster cars, and living in places that cost at least from $1 million and up, and it can go to hundreds of millions. I would say this is the type of energy that gives me to move, because I see that I'm not there yet, and I wanna teach younger generations do the same. I wanna teach other people at my maybe a different age, a higher age, to do something else, to change something in their life. And this is because all the benefits that I'm bringing to this society is moving me. When I see a person that is happy after my services, and I see that his life changes from 0 to 100 in about a month or 2 months, or probably I had even clients that took me a year to achieve a success for them. But as soon as I hit that dopamine level where I see the client is happy and he's recommending me, I never did marketing for my business, because every
Well,
type
you're
of-
doing it right now. We got
Yeah.
fucking 63 subscribers.
Yeah, I
going.
hope you guys you learn a lot from this, because I've been wanting for a while to have people hear this message, because you need good advice around this period of time. Everybody is watching social media right now, and everybody is zombified with what they're seeing, and they're not controlling their emotions, and they act differently right now, and this is affecting their health, their diet, their sleep, which is really, really important. But what I would like to say is, this is what we have to keep going. Think about our future and think about our purpose and stick to it. So if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel depressed, I have been depressed for the past 2 years. I came to this country, I had relatives that helped me here, but 90% of the time I had it by myself. And when you don't have any friends around, you don't have people that is gonna stay with you in your house. You gotta live through all these moments alone, having your family far away. This is the moment where you gotta pass, to have all the rewards that comes for it,
Yeah.
And when you have people thinking that you're doing the right way, you want to stick to it. You want to stick to it, even though it hurts. You got to move forward, because persistence is the key.
Yeah. Being a
Yeah.
community leader, right? That's
Yeah.
kind of what you want to inspire other people right now, is
Yeah.
to be part of a community of growing discipline and taking action on a day-to-day basis. We were speaking earlier about emotion, and you were kind of going into that topic with me. What is being emotional during business? Like, what does that cause you? Are you emotional when you're doing business? Are you not emotional when you do business? Do you think that there's a fine line of understanding, hey, it's okay to show some emotion during business? Or do you say no to it?
So it's always good to show emotion, because you got to put yourself in your client's shoes.
Sure.
You got to understand the situation they're handling, and you got to get to a certain level of understanding that if you're not doing the right thing, it can get ugly. and I would assess the same emotions that sometimes my client have to me, just to get to the right point, and how fast should I help him, or what kind of power I gotta input so that I can get this done. But sometimes when you're handling big deals, it's not about empathy here. You gotta be straightforward, and you gotta show no emotion.
Yeah.
You gotta stay on your spot. You don't gotta have to move an inch. You gotta say forward, and you gotta say loud what you want, what you need, and there's no way around that. I want to get done what I want to get done.
You mean like when you
Do the
negotiate?
impossible, yeah.
When you negotiate, like people put pressure on you and you stand right there like a fucking bull and you don't move. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
yeah.
Precisely.
And like you, so we talk about these like kind of on the surface and we'll get into it. I want our audience understand something about you from two different sides. First of all, how can you get at the same level like you are making the type of money that you make? Because making $500,000 a year, a lot of people think you have to go through the school system here and go to college and then get a few years of experience. And then we have you that moved from different country, from Eastern Europe, from Moldova,
Yeah.
and like attacking this country with success that you have in 3 years. Not, I don't know if you have like school here that you
No.
went to
No.
like, how do you do this? So that's one side. Like, if someone wants to do what you do, what's their first step? And second side of today's interview is going to be like, this country is kind of fucked up, especially new generation with the credit, over leveraging themselves, too much debt, credit card debt. Like that's the biggest thing that stops a lot of young people. Like I want you to talk about in detail about that. But first, how does one who maybe haven't had to go through what you have had to go through, immigrate into a new country, figuring out like how things work here, how do they start a career like you have and achieve results like you have? Like what would be their steps?
So, first thing first, they gotta like to read. This is the most important thing that I've been taught from my country from an early age. I was not getting access to my phone if I didn't read at least 20 pages that day. And everything was under control. And the reason that the new generation is stumbling upon every step they do is they're not being taught to be disciplined from an early age. They're not being taught the right priorities, and they consume a lot. Starting from an early age, I saw children in restaurants having their phone, sitting sitting at the right side of their plate, and they're watching it. They don't have access. They have access, but they don't want to lift up their eyes and see what's going around.
Yeah, it's
I
big
was
here.
yeah, I was forbidden to have access to my phone when I was in a public area.
Yeah, my rule too is like when we eat dinner is like don't have your phone out. There's no need to have a phone out when you're eating with people. If you end up having your phone out, you're distracted, you're not thinking about what's going on in the moment. And you're right, a bunch of kids these days are always on their phone. You'll see men and women, they go on a date and one of the women is hanging out on her phone. They're
Yeah.
not even in tune with what's going on. And I think Brendan knows that too. When we go eat, we take a video maybe of the dinner, which is for, content creation itself, but we always put the phone back down. And big thing is, I don't know when you guys go eat, you and your family, but having that tech that we didn't have earlier is just destroying lives right now.
Yeah. And to respond to the second part of your question, why do they have such a hard time getting their credit up? Because the system is wired this way. Like, you go through the credit system since being a student. You gotta take a loan just to get into a high society.
Yeah.
to get at least access to a good paying job. If you're living in a good in an expensive city like LA, and you gotta have something to start from. And think about this: you are a student, you finish it, and you have around 100K of debt that is gonna haunt you for the past 30 years, which is still gaining interest. This is the worst part of it, because you have a student loan which gains around 13% APR every year, and you're paying such a big amount of interest, because every payment you're doing, because imagine you learn for 4 years, you finish it, interest is still gaining, it's not stopping. Every moment you're there, it's
Yeah.
still gaining, and you get access to a job. Imagine 80% of that paycheck is going towards
Paying
probably
your debt.
paying your debt. You have other debt. You gotta have a car, you gotta have a credit card, you gotta have a checking account, and still probably you're still not out of your parents' house. This is why it's so difficult. Moving on.
Is that why you
Yeah.
chose this as your entrepreneurial
You,
like success? Is because you end up understanding that no matter what, someone's in need, and because they're in credit card debt or financial debt, it's something that you can tap into, not for money purposes, but like you said, to help people, right?
yeah, yeah.
Where did you learn the education or where did you learn how to handle credit repair?
People are talking, and you're getting little pieces of information through everywhere. And I started to read more and more about it. There are laws about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I got really deep into these laws. And there's also YouTube. You could have access to it. There's a lot of information over there. There's a lot of online classes you could take just to get ahead, just to start at least to understand how this would work. But just to respond to your question, I did not came here to start educating people about credit. Came here actually to experience what America could give me, and I'm still with the path that I would like to take. Is still to take my degree here.
Mm.
And the reason that I didn't start having my degree yet, learning for it, is because I needed support to get from somewhere. If I started getting it, it's you gotta have something to pay your rent. You gotta have something to support yourself, at least what you're learning, because you gotta be focused on that. You don't have to be focused on how to survive, because this is not going to give you the access to that information to understand it, to fully comprehend it, and to put it active in your life. And this is how I said, probably I should take a pause, figure what I would like to do. And by the time, because I'm still getting there, I have at least the right information to start right now the degree that I want to do. And because I have this baggage of information that I learned through all these years, I could say I could pass at least 2 years from the major I would like to take, because I already know the basics. I learned it through experience. I put myself into that into those experiences where I had to learn it. If I didn't learn it, I wouldn't be able to resolve the kind of problems that I'm resolving now.
Yeah.
So you said something about a lot of people getting into debt, getting a degree, but it sounds like you're not against getting a degree because it kind of, even though you might not know already a lot of what they teach there at the university, college, but it's some kind of status. And I believed for a while that you don't need a degree in this country. But as I get older, I see a lot of other people succeed. There is basically two groups of people that I see: entrepreneurs that made it from early age,
Sure.
and they opened their big businesses, companies, and they don't need a degree, and they kind of put themselves in the right place from the beginning. Those people don't need a degree, and they might always go and get a degree later
Yeah.
if they're curious enough, or just for the status.
My
Like-
wealthy customer said the same thing.
But there is a second group that have very comfortable, high-paying jobs, and they have 30 hours weeks, and they get $500,000, $700,000 cybersecurity jobs, like
Yeah,
clients
ER
that we meet.
jobs, all those
Crazy,
jobs
man. And
that
you look at it like, man, like those people are set for life. So there is a lot of debates out there on social media among youth. Do you need a degree? Do you need college? A lot of people say you don't need college. I think you need college, but you have to not dig yourself a hole like you described by getting yourself in a debt and kind of just put all your efforts, money, and hopes on that degree. Maybe you can go and experience that world and get world experience first and learn how to make money instead of postponing getting your life experience and staying in your family house. And then you can always go and get the degree when you're 30 or even 40.
Yeah, I just think a lot of the youth is afraid, right? They think that the path to success, right, is to graduate high school, go to college, and then start your career. But like Adrian said, you want to go into experience first, understand what you're focused on, learn every day, right? And I think that's where we forget too, is the learning portion. Every day people are forgetting to learn and use their brain. They're becoming zombified. Like you said, they're using their phones and they're not reading every day. If you can get some experience, earn some money, you can always go back to school if it enhances what you're doing, which you said you're going to be doing anyways, right? It's going to enhance already the experience you have to allow you to maybe potentially help more people or earn more money. I really do think though the youth is lost because not everybody's coming out of school making the 500 to 700,000 because they ask for experience, right? In the real world, like they want that when you apply to jobs. And however, most people don't have experience because they're in four walls. They just go to school because that's what they think they need to do. They have their parents successfully pay for their schooling or they get a scholarship. And then you are surrounded by weak individuals. And what I mean by that is like people that don't know what they're going to do in life. They go there to party, to drink, to smoke, to hang out. And then you forget that your future is more than just smoking, drinking, and hanging out until you actually do something about it. So I think what you're saying is completely true. What you're saying is completely true. But don't lose fact that the entrepreneurs still would like to go to school. Like you said, like some of these entrepreneurs will still choose education. Yeah. It's important to always learn.
Do you need school, Brandon?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I disagree. I think college and getting a degree is a scam.
Which is true. There's a lot of people that say that too. I don't disagree with you.
And I personally went to a four-year university, right? I got an athletic scholarship to play lacrosse, and I still think it was a waste of time because you're learning from so-called teachers, right? On how to be successful, how to make money that have never started a business, right? That have never failed themselves,
right?
Right? It's like asking someone how to make $100,000 and they've made 30,000, right? So that was kind of my, outlook on it, and I felt like I wasted time, right? I had the college experience of like being a Division I athlete, discipline and, being a student athlete and whatnot, but it didn't help me learn more about business. It didn't help me learn more on taxes and how to recruit people, manage people, what's needed to run a successful business, right? Question for you, Adrian. You started this successful business a couple years ago. Trials and errors that you face. What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself these past 3 years?
Patience.
I need to learn. I need to learn some of that right now.
Patience, yeah.
Yeah.
Patience and
it's huge.
the feeling that tomorrow you're wake up and everything is gonna be the same, and you gotta stay ahead of what you're doing, and you gotta be compliant, and saying that yes, I'm gonna do this probably because I didn't open this phase, but over these 2 years, literally I only survived. I did not tell this to a lot of people, but I did not make enough money to be able to pay my rent on time. I was late always.
Yeah.
I was, God forbid, I was not late on the credit cards, because 30 days put you ahead of 7 years, but
then you have to help yourself.
Yeah.
But
thing is, you gotta be patient because success takes time. And I wouldn't say I had success yet because There's still a lot more to go, but this is the start. You gotta put the right base on what you're doing. Because if you're trying to build a skyscraper and you don't have the right base, it's gonna stumble.
Yeah.
It's gonna fall down,
Mhm.
regardless of what you're doing. You're making sure that you're gonna get success really, really quick, and then sometimes you get burned out. And I don't know how how uh, how fast you're getting to understand this, but you gotta pass at least a few burnouts just to understand what you're trying to do. Because even the person that is still deciding, okay, I'm gonna go to college, or probably I'm gonna take a few years to just to understand what I want. You gotta put yourself in the situations. You gotta take those risks before. Actually, when you're in high school, when probably you're an undergrad, getting started on the college, probably you said you want to take, but you're not sure if you want to continue it. But you got to put yourself in those professional situations where you understand, what type of actions do I need, because action is driving me. When my workplace is it's so different, it's so every day I'm doing something else. I'm not doing I'm not doing the same thing every day. It's not, it have taste. You gotta have taste to it. So when I'm doing all these things every day, and you're not sure sometimes what to say to the client, you gotta, some people say it here, you gotta fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta take this risk, because if it's not going
Always.
through, it's not going through, you gotta take the blame on yourself.
Yeah. Have
Listen,
accountability.
This is the most hard part.
This is important because you can't possibly know everything about any business, even if you've been there for 20 years. And
It doesn't matter.
I think the key quality of successful people, the confidence, and fake it until you make it is where you start.
Yeah,
And then you start develop. And because people don't have the courage, people don't start things, and they don't want to sound stupid. They want to know all the answers to all questions, and that's why people stumble. They don't start. And we go back to subject we probably talked about in other podcasts. It's courage. It's the courage supported by action that leads to success.
yeah. And
Because like everyone can read articles online and talk to people, but if you don't take action, which always requires courage,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get anywhere. And I gotta give you a compliment on your English, man. Like I know
I
where
was
we grow
about to
up,
say,
like people don't speak English. So
where did you learn your English?
yeah,
That I was about to say,
And, like, 3 years
where
in
did
the
you learn
country.
it?
Movies.
Movies.
Yeah.
Movies.
What's your
But how
favorite
did-
movie?
Kind of hard, but I'll go with I forgot the name of it, but it has Leo DiCaprio in it, and he's doing all
Catch
these
Me If You
crazy-
Can.
Yes.
Yes.
That's my favorite movie, bro.
I don't think I've
One of
ever
my
seen it.
favorites.
Wow,
Tom
that's
Hanks?
Good movie?
that's
a
a
very
great
good
movie,
movie,
bro.
man.
I don't watch movies.
So it's about taking checks, and he basically takes serial numbers off of checks and cashes them. Okay, like he becomes a millionaire by doing fraud.
I love that.
Catch
movie.
Me If You Can?
And he's a
Yeah.
flight
Yeah.
I'll look
attendant.
into it.
He's a flight attendant. So
Bro,
they
he's
can
all
never-
kind of different
they-
things in
you
the movie.
can never catch him because he's always
always traveling.
traveling.
It's so slick, and it's based on a real story.
It's a real story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal this, Vlad. I'm
Okay.
sorry, bro.
Question for you, Adrian. What was the most costly failure that you had to go through?
Costly failure.
Thanks, Vlad.
I would say it's a sentimental one. It's not a money mistake that I did. It's going away from home, because I don't see my brother growing up. He's right now in college. He's in his first year. My cousin, my little cousin. We're a big family over there. We're keeping everything really united, and the fact that I don't see them growing up and getting happy about their successes, their failures, mistakes, it's making me sometimes a little bit sad that I don't have them go with the same situations I'm going through right now, because this would make them a lot stronger. They choose the right way. They choose the right way, and they're making big success on it. Like the results that I see coming from them, because all of them, they're learning in Europe. My little cousin, she's in Venice. She's learning art. My little bro is he's doing economics in Belgium. And my other cousin, he was doing economics in Belgium actively. Right now he's working his father's company in construction. And the way that I see they thrive to through all the results that I did, and it's making them want to get more. They're not settling for something that
Not
everybody
complacent.
else is doing, and they're seeing I'm seeing that my activities is driving them in other way, shape, or form. This Christmas I sent them something at home. The emotions that I felt through the phone, it's interesting, because you're becoming in some way a father figure. What I wanted to see when I was little from the masculine, is having a father figure, seeing somebody that is can do more, is gonna teach me the right things, and I see that I'm getting there, making them they have all these suggestions, they want to ask me something. I get them the response. Sometimes I forget that I still gotta learn from them. Sometimes I forget about this. I don't want to have I don't want to, when I speak to them, so that they could feel that I'm the bigger bro, they should respect me. No, I want to be equal to them, because probably they would gain even more that I'm gonna gain in the future, because they had the right person sitting besides them, and uh, hearing good things about what the bigger brother is doing in US, and they could do the same things over there. This is a sentimental issue that it's still staying on top of me.
I think it's
Yeah.
only immigrant can really understand the pain of this, because you're going through something that a lot of people won't experience in life. You're going to the other side of the planet and you don't see your relatives. You miss out on a lot of happy moments, being physically apart from them and don't see them. And then you realize throughout the years you didn't see them, and you're gonna see them. They look older now.
Yeah.
If it's your mother, father, and grandmother, your relatives, and you miss out on a lot of moments. But you mentioned that, like, you have this smaller or little cousin, and you have a brother, and like you were in position as older brother, and it kind of explains things, because for a 23-year-old, would you agree? I mean, he's very, very mature, and I think it kind of helps on the psychological level to build who you are. So it kind of answered my question: how do you become the so mature?
Yeah.
But as a successful person, someone who took courage to go across the world and immigrate to another country, you chose your path to change your family DNA, to write a new history in the book of your family, and you got to stick to it and you sacrifice. But if you look at the bigger picture, what it's going to do for your family, what it's going to do for your future kids, and for your family tree on a bigger level, you're already doing incredible things.
Oh, thank you.
So
I have
we
a
always
question
always
before-
have a choice. We always have a choice.
Yeah.
When we don't see our kids, if you have kids and you work all day and you work 6 or 7 days a week and you work for a few years, you have to sacrifice. And right now, that's what you're going through. So you always have to remind yourself that right now I'm sacrificing for something bigger.
How does it affect you, Vlad? Because your family's across the world right now, and you're here by yourself as well.
It's a battle.
How has that affected you, though, when you see them on FaceTime, whether it's once a week or multiple times a week? It's been 7 years, 10 years for you, right? 10 years now. How has not seeing your family for 10 years been for you? Because it's not just you. Even your wife hasn't seen her family, and your son doesn't know about your mother. She hasn't been able to see him physically, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you haven't taken him there. They haven't come here. what has that done to you mentally? Because you're so strong every day. You show up every day. You take action every day. You never hesitate. You think of things very logically. You do things that are not in a selfish way, but in the best interest of your family, not really for yourself, but for your family. How has it affected you not being able to see your family?
You know, it's the battle that you have to go through, and to be honest, there was a lot of
Doubt?
points at my life where I was ready to give up and
Sure.
just come back. But there is a bigger picture for myself. The one thing that makes me happy, or will make me happy, is the picture where I help a lot of people, and I look at it as helping orphans, helping a lot of kids from where I'm from, to not only like financially, but with my own example, to inhale confidence in them that where we grew up, you have potential of very smart individuals, because a lot of people where we're from, and I'm from Transnistria, which he will say that it's Moldova,
It is
but
the same country, bro. It is the same
and I will say
country.
that it's not. But but people are not. A lot of people are not patriots. Especially where I'm from, because our country doesn't exist,
Yeah.
and they say it's a shithole, and I want to teach them that it's not. So I have this bigger goal that I have in my mind. How I want to help all those people, and I
Sure.
want to start with my family, because I would love to be able to, go ahead and buy my mom, my dad a car, and then my wife's relatives a car, and make a lot of people happy with starting with my family, and then go beyond that and help other people, and that takes some sacrifice, and that's what I'm going through right now. But I'll tell you this: there are certain moments in life that maybe are not worth fighting through. Like I can't imagine, my dad or my mom dying, and me not being able to be there before that or seeing them.
Mhm.
Like I'm not ready for that. But so it's individual what line you want to draw, and and how far you want to go. But I'll tell you this: I'm at the fucking cliff right now.
Yeah.
And it's very hard. But,
You're testing moments.
But yeah,
and patience.
I'm being tested right now. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
What about you, Brennan? Because your family's not here. Your brother, I think, is in New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Your sister, your mom and dad are all in Texas, and you're just here by yourself because you had some whim or thought that success isn't going to happen in Texas, isn't going to happen in New York, but it's going to happen in the lively city of basically Los Angeles or Southern California, where all the action is. So what made you, and how do you feel not being able to see your family? I know you go during the holidays, but when you wake up in an empty house. It's just you. And when you go to work, it's just you. When you get off of work, it's just you. Just like Adrian, when you get off work, it's just you. Vlad, when you get off work, you just go home to your family. You don't really have too many friends. How does that impact you, though, not being able to see them? And I know they doubt you sometimes.
Yeah, great question, Corbin. For me, it's just, it allows me to push even harder. And I think all of us can relate. Like our why is 10 times stronger, because it's not just us representing us, right? It's our family, like that last name on our back.
Yeah.
Right? So everything we do, it's to leave a legacy, right? And that's why we push so hard. That's why we're sacrificing here and there. And that's why we're in here at 10 p.m. when we all worked 10, 12-hour days. Right?
Absolutely.
It's because we want a better future for our family. So for me, that's, it's unfortunate sometimes being away from your family, but it drives me to push even harder.
Yeah, I can agree to that. I think all of you guys can agree to that too.
Going into business, we all know it's competitive, it's cutthroat. For you, Adrian, what was your competitive edge? Like, what gave you that moat to really separate yourself and really start seeing progress within your business?
Good question.
Yeah, it's hard to say, man, because you know there's other type of people that I see online. They're doing probably the same thing I would do, but the competitive edge is where you have more access to a bigger network than I actually had in the beginning. And I would say network is everything. And I would like to say that network is everything, even in college, because I would like to go to college just to get access to a better network.
Yeah.
Because
It's huge.
in my country, we're a small country. Like Vlad is saying, we're so small that it's like LA. Like comparing our country, we 5 towns of our country is the size of LA.
Yeah.
You know, our population is well, it was so limited. The land is so limited over there, and if you know people in every type of branch, every type of situation, you get ahead in life. Thing is, here you don't have to step on people to get ahead. If you get along with them, if you share together information, if you are good, if you respect yourself, if you learn to listen to what this person is saying, you could build a relationship, you know. And this is how the relationship is being built here. And seeing that I could do more and more, and that people are asking me for more and more questions and more advanced questions, and I'm like, I should be evolving this, you know. I should be spreading down the word, you know.
Yeah. That's why I
Hope I
joined.
responded well to the question, you know.
No, you did. Because that's why I joined Fletcher Jones in the first place, is because you can network with more people. I wanted that, right? Internally, I didn't know what was going on because I'm still in the employee mindset, right? But I was working for Hyundai for 3 years, and I wasn't meeting people that could take me to the next level of success. However, fast forward 3 years later, I meet Vlad last year, and now I've networked with Vlad, and now we're sitting in a room doing a podcast, right? And then we're talking about business ideas, and we're talking about our next endeavor. Then there's customers that we're meeting like yourself who are very successful young entrepreneurs. There's people that are older that have already had their success in life. And your network is basically your net worth. You work with a 100-millionaire and you get to learn so much from him on a day-to-day basis on how he pushes daily goals and how he moves every day. He's sitting with a 100-millionaire, which we don't get an opportunity to sit with on a day-to-day basis. But he does. He gets to learn from them. He gets to see his actions. He has a whole film crew going on. They're posting content. They're calling business to business. They're learning cold calls. They're starting companies. They're doing all of this just to sell the company to make his next 100 million. Just like that. Like, oh, I'm going to make 100 million. I already have it all in mind. I'm paying 30,000 overhead, but I'm going to make 100 million. I'm going to find people like Brendan who's never had sales career experience in his life. I'm going to put him on the floor, and then bam, 6 months later, because he's so ambitious, he's already a manager leading 35, 40 people right now. And he's hiring them and firing them. And he's learning, you know, and learning and learning. And now you're with a 100-millionaire. Like, that is something money can't buy, right? Yeah. Your net worth is going to be always the network that you're with. And that's huge.
I would love to see Brandon firing someone.
Oh, he fires people all the time. It's
Brandon,
actually insane.
Can you actually put it on video and send it to us?
His first time, the funny thing
You
was,
guys want to know something?
the funny
I
thing
let go of someone today.
Yeah, it's kind of
He
crazy.
smiles.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is when Brendan, I remember the whole journey because I've been with Brendan like through this journey of him joining this company. And he's like, man, I got to go fire someone. Like, I kind of feel bad, you know? And then he does it once. He did it twice. They did it 3 times, right? And then he got like emotionless behind it. It's just business, right? Like, I still like you, Adrian, but unfortunately, you're just not meeting the expectations of the company. So because of that, we have to let you go. But don't let it affect you. And I love the way he ends the like you getting let go from the company. He says, don't let this affect you in any way. It's not that you're not successful. It's not that you're not good at what you do. It just didn't work out here. So there may be another door for you to go through.
And that's what I want to talk about too, because like you gotta know your inclination. You gotta identify it. Like, it's obvious Adrian identified it early on, and
Yeah, props
he
to you
stick
for
to
that.
it, and
huge.
like grown
23
inside of that.
is huge, bro.
Yeah,
It's huge.
like
You got crypto millionaires, don't get us wrong. You got young kids that got money and stuff. But to do it for yourself with no support, it's huge. Who did you let go of today? How long have they been with the company? Sorry to cut off tangent.
no worries.
I just want to know. You know?
Yeah.
I just do. I want to know. How long has he worked for your How long has she worked for the company for?
2 months.
And so it's just like that, right? Cutthroat. You get hired, you tell your family, right? You're like, oh, you know, mom, dad, brother, sis, I got a new job. I'm in sales. Like, it's amazing. You're showing up to work every day for the company. 2.5 months later, you don't make it, done. You're done for.
Yeah, I've had to lay off about 12 people in the last 3 to 4 months. And what I tell them in that situation is like Corbin said, don't allow this, outcome or situation to dictate, your future. Look at Michael Jordan, right? He got cut from his high school basketball team, but that was just the stepping stone for him to be the greatest basketball player of all time.
Absolutely.
So, the failures that we've all experienced, allow that to really ingrain in your mind that you're one step closer to becoming better, right? Or one step closer to fulfilling that dream or that business, whatever it is.
Yeah, you just got to come in with hunger.
And it's best to fail fast. Like, and if you failed and you got fired somewhere, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. Same with if you win. Like, I was winning, making $300,000 a year at Mercedes-Benz.
You were doing more too
when I was 26-year-old.
You were doing more too.
And then I decided to do Amazon business just because there were so many gurus at that time online and people that I met in person. Everyone was saying, hey, you can make $1 million, but that $1 million was revenue. And I'm like, I'm quitting my job tomorrow. So I did that and I hit or almost hit that $1 million of revenue, but it naturally wasn't my thing. Like, just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you're going to be good at everything. Just because you failed at something doesn't mean that you suck at everything. And when you're young, you got to go through those stages as soon as possible. But, my question that I have to myself, and maybe you guys help me answer this, like, how do you separate that path of looking for your strengths and your own way in life, like Adrian found, like your career, your thing that you can do for the rest of your life, versus not sticking to something for long enough to be better at it?
I think it's all relative to every person. Like, you don't know what you're successful at until you try, like Adrian said. You don't know until you decide like you're going to go in through this motion.
But how do you know? I mean, how do you know your potential?
You don't. I don't think you will ever know your full potential.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's through trial and error.
Yeah.
Right? You have to fail at numerous things and understand what you like, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and utilize that. Like, utilize your career or a business that you start with your strengths.
Yeah, and
so it gives you a higher likelihood to make it happen.
Yeah, and Adrian said through patience, right? You may not be successful 1, 2, and 3 years. Not everyone hits success right away. But it's like also like Alex Hormozy says, it's like he starts in 2017 on an image in a post that he does, and then he shows his success in 2026. So all this time we've been watching him be successful for like last year, because that's when like his name has started blowing up. But no one watched him when he was in 2017 doing his thing. No one watched him in 2018 doing his thing. No one watched him in 2019 doing his thing. No one watched him in 2020. But he still put out all that content, stayed patient. Boom. Now all day, all you hear is Alex Hormozy and his thoughts and his process. And that's what we're going through right now. You just haven't had a team for the last 10 years to help you. Adrian, I'm not sure if you work by yourself right now solely, or you said that potentially you're working with the secretary right now to get you started, but do you have other people that help you as well? You have a team, right?
I actually asked my girlfriend to help me out.
Okay.
So we're working together right now.
So just you two though?
Yeah.
Nobody
Bonnie
else,
and
right?
Stuff,
Bonnie and Clyde. So it's just utilizing what you already have. And I think for you, you don't have a son, right? Or a kid yet.
No.
So you had a kid. at a young age, which is great. That's like your backbone of everything that you do. But you haven't had a full team with you yet. That's why with Brendan, me, and you, right? Like we're growing this podcast right now, which Adrian may or may not be able to see, but eventually this would be a business, right? Like doesn't mean the podcast, but us three doing something could turn into a successful business, right? It's using the mindset. So back to your question though, like how do you know? Brendan said it, like trial and error. Like I'm going through a huge test right now at work.
How do you know you should stick to it or not quit it today and try something new? Like people sometimes actually staying too patient and they don't try.
You're the only one that would know that because you worked as a cable man. I worked and I cleaned grills. I clean restrooms. I clean the floor. I work 2 jobs every day. I put in the grind every day. I watched older people that are of Hispanic culture that work 2 jobs 7 days a week, that raised a kid, that made less money.
Why'd you point at me?
Because you're Hispanic. And I bring up Hispanic. I bring up the Hispanic culture because that's actually where I learned my grind from. Watching older men and women that have families and kids, and you just watch them every day. You work with them when you work 2 jobs, and I worked in a Mexican restaurant, if you want to call it that, Rubio's in El Pollo Loco, and I wake up every day and I would go to Rubio's from 7:30 to 4:30 and El Pollo Loco from 5 to 11. I'd have to clean the grills, clean the restroom, clean the floor, clean the plates, serve the food, take the orders, make the food. I would do it all. But the one thing I listened to was I would be the best cook. I would be the best server. I would be the best cleaner on the grill. I would be the hardest worker. Didn't matter if I was cleaning the restroom. And that tenacity led me to get into sales in just a few steps. It didn't even take me more than one time showing up to get a job. I put on my suit. I pulled up to the dealership. I'm a convicted felon. I just got my record expunged. And then I get hired. I'm like, damn, I didn't even have to go too far, right? Like I just went to the first dealership and I applied to Fletcher Jones 4 years ago. I applied to Crevier BMW 4 years ago. I applied to all these dealerships 4 years ago, but the first one I show up to accepts me and then I can't get the job because my record says I have to wait 6 months. So I wait the 6 months and my follow-up was so impeccable because I had such belief that I would make it that I was able to text the GSM and they said, wow, your follow-up after 6 months to just text me like that is impeccable. Of course you can get hired. So I get hired. Then 3 years down the line, right, I quit my job. And you know that. I quit my job. Who just quits their job? It sounds crazy. You just wake up, go into work and quit your job? And then I text you, hey, Vlad, can I get a job at Mercedes Laguna? He's like, yeah, of course. Supports all the way. Doesn't even know me. Supports me all the way. Here's the pay plan. Here, give me your resume. Send him in his resume. Hey, Vlad, do you think I can show up and just ask you a few questions? Absolutely. Shows up to the dealership, bothers his day. He's in sales. So anytime you take away from a sales representative to do bullshit, it's taking the opportunity away from him to actually sit down with Adrian, his customer, and make a sale or call a customer or prospect. I know you want to ask me something, but just give me a second.
I want to answer your question before.
Yeah.
And I think we can all relate to this. Like, how do you know your full potential? There's something inside of you talking to you, whispering to you, like this, I expect more.
That I love.
Right?
I like that.
I want more.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where you find your true potential, right? Pushing and listening to that voice every single day. So I just wanted to point that because I know we all feel that inside of us.
That's the energy level. You gotta feel pumped. Like, listen, Corbin knows, I haven't been feeling well last few days.
You're a monster, though.
And I'm here sitting down with you guys.
He's a monster.
And I'm pumped. I forgot about, how I felt before this, because it resonates with me and with what I want to do. I'm excited. And that's what you should feel like when you do something that you love. You just forced by some power coming from universe, coming from God, coming from wherever you want to call it, but you feel alive. And that's how you should feel. But Corbin said something important. When he did his job that he didn't obviously enjoy, and the cleaning the grills and serving, you said that you were the best at doing that. And that's very important, because when you do something, don't think that, oh, you're actually going to do it later and you're going to do your best later. Wherever you do the best at it. It's easy to give yourself an excuse. Oh, that's not my thing. If I actually want to do that, that's okay. If God put you in this position, you should do your best at being the best at where you at right now. So if I'm at Mercedes-Benz Fletcher Jones right now, I should maximize everything that I can get from that place and what I can do. And Adrian want to say something about this.
No. I wanna. I had the most pleasure listening to his last thought, because this is my philosophy for the past year, and I wanna scrape it into stone, because this is the best philosophy mindset you could have, that is gonna guide your whole life ahead. Is gonna write history books, and is gonna have generations that is gonna learn from you. You gotta be the best at what you're doing. Every day, wake up with this thought: I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna do more than I did yesterday. I'm gonna respond to more calls.
Yeah.
I'm gonna resolve more problems. I'm gonna handle the stress this way. I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna do that. Because if you're staying like ordinary, if you're staying on the same spot, I'm feeling that I'm degrading. And this moving there's like a few moving pieces inside of me, inside all of us, that if you don't put them to work, they just start to rust.
Yeah.
They just start to rust. You start feeling that you're losing your way. It's like things are not the way it's supposed to be. Maybe you're starting having thoughts about, do I do the right thing? Maybe I should have been other place. Maybe I shouldn't taken this risk. But everybody gotta understand that after this wall, because this is a wall of doubt.
Yeah.
After you jump this wall, you
Yeah.
got the strength to jump this wall or break it or whatever. Everything is shining. The sun is hitting from the sky. Everything is blooming. And this is the part that I jump the wall, and I feel that there's bigger walls I gotta jump.
Yeah.
I jumped the wall for a moment. It's shiny. It's looking good. It's the beaches had the sun and everything, but I have bigger walls I gotta jump.
Yeah.
I got bigger levels. Yeah.
Shoot away.
Building off what you just said, where you're talking about being like your best self or making this year the best year, let's go on the other side of the spectrum, right? When you first started your business, or the last 3 years, what was the biggest thing that was limiting you from getting better or making progress?
Oh, this one is it's something that sometimes I cannot understand how this would work. It's a fear of being successful. Have you guys ever heard about this? Felt this? That there's like an imposter syndrome. Sometimes you feel you could do more, but something is stopping you. It's like, I don't know, some fear from inside. But this is the biggest obstacle I have right now. This is something that I still gotta understand how it works. Even though coming to this podcast right now, I never did this, and I have a lot of emotions going in right now. But I feel the way that it's moving inside, and having all these thoughts and feelings right now, I'm overcoming it one step at a time. Because before I used to feel really good when I was applause, when people said you're doing the good. But after some time, it's like it's not enough. I gotta do more.
Yep.
But not getting that applause, saying that you did good like a little child. It's like doing good for yourself, saying you haven't done anything yet, but you feel, and you it's like you feel that you've done a lot, and you lay down, and this is where this fear comes, because you say, I've done a lot. I gotta hide in the spot a bit and not do anything, but overcome it.
Yeah.
More and more.
And I think what he's getting at is like, I was having that with my uncle. He just bought a car, and I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like I'm grinding, but I haven't hit success yet. But he's like, you have hit success. Like you said in the beginning, like you have changed a lot already. But I'm like, I'm still grinding. I still don't see my outcome. He's like, because you're just not patient enough. Like with time, everything comes. But go through these doubts, go through these emotions, so you can get to the next level in your life. And I don't know if you feel the same way. You like grinding and grinding, no result, right? We talked about that. Grinding and grinding, no result. Grinding and grinding, no result. But in reality, all that grinding was actually somebody's inspiration.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you are successful. Oh, you are a manager. Oh, you are making this much money at Mercedes. Oh, you are continuously working out, right? So what limits you is honestly your self-doubt sometimes. That ability to like decide, do you jump over that wall? Because on the other side of that wall, when you're very successful, right, there's another wall. And there will always be another wall. Because very successful people like us, we won't stop. We just won't. I won't stop. Let's say we open up a business, money's rolling through. I'll probably try to start another business with you guys.
So let's talk about business, because we touched on a lot of philosophical great questions, and I like talking about it. But something about your expertise, which
Yeah.
is SBA loans, the loans for small businesses. I remember when I started my Amazon, just in the beginning, in the first 6 months of opening the LLC, I think I applied. I talked to a bunch of, like, when you go to the website, I talked to a lot of lenders, and I think nobody approved me. And I wish I would have met you. You would have probably helped me to get like $500,000 or
Saved
something.
a lot of time.
What was the what was the biggest loan that you helped someone get?
9 million, which I did
So
recently.
we should save this guy number in our book because we want to open the business and we need capital, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you against getting 9 mil?
Never.
Okay.
But it's about, before we get the 9 mil, what's the vision? Right? You create
Oh,
the vision.
I'll find the vision, man. With 9 mil, I'll find the vision. But I guess they need
So-
the vision first, right?
Sometimes you think when you get all the money, it's like hitting the lottery. Like, you're good. No, you got to have a plan. When the money rolls in, you got to have a plan, right? Like, what comes to you quick leaves even faster.
No, right, and you can make like really big mistakes with
Yeah,
money. If you don't know how to handle $1,000,
How you gonna
you're
handle
gonna get
9 million?
$10,000, and
Yeah.
you're gonna get yourself in trouble. But I'm curious, how much one should be in business and make a year to get $1 million or $5 million loan? Because it's a government-supported program, right?
Yeah. It's mostly a government program because 80% of the whole money that is being disbursed by the bank is guaranteed by the government.
Yeah.
And this makes the banks more open to all the proposals, all the types of businesses, all the types of industries, and to offer the best competitive rates. And right now, in this current economical situation that this country is going through, if SBA wouldn't be a big player into this, the banking would stop. The banks would lose a lot of money because of that. Because you see, the rate of defaults that happened since COVID until now, it's skyrocketing every quarter. And right now we hit the spot where we kind of trying to understand in what direction is this country going, and what should we do? Should we wait? Should we go? Should we? Right now is the best time to go. I'll be honest.
What do you mean?
This is the best time to open a business and to evolve.
Why?
I got a feeling. I got a feeling, and market data is something that is driving this feeling, and the feedback from the customers. I see more people being driven right now. I think the hardest has came already.
Okay, that's good news.
I don't think there's gonna be much more difficult situations. Probably this one was one of the hardest periods. I work with a lot of transportation business, and this is the industry that keeps us, capitalists, consumers. Because if we would have transportation, we wouldn't have anything on our table, and this is a really big factor that the transportation business has lost a lot. And I meant thousands of businesses, tens of thousands of lost jobs, people that were hardly working for tens of years, and then we would take a big competition that this business had, and the way that they depend on other branches just to be able to transport that freight, you know. And the most important thing is they gotta have access to um, cheap capital, because they have a lot of gross revenue that's coming every month. And sometimes I look at those statements, I was like, oh my god, tens of millions every month. Where is this money going? They end up having negative revenue at the end of the month, and still they have tens of millions. Where is this money going? And after these 3 years, everything has stopped. I mean, people got organized over time, because they thought this is gonna still be here for maybe a season. It's around maximum half a year, maybe 2 quarters, but this is been taking place for a few years already. And the people that were weak got off. People that were strong, they got even stronger. They have a bigger purpose and they have bigger vision. And I think, based if this type of industry is getting better, all the other businesses are going to go better. Everything, including manufacturing. Like, the manufacturing sector is the best right now. The rates are so competitive. I mean, manufacturing something here, maybe for us, probably for us, this is going to be the best if it can be manufactured here and sold here. uh, but exporting services outside, this is something that this country is already achieving, a record high amount of revenue that is coming here through tariffs and everything. And I would assume that getting started something around this period of time, just to get an idea, just to get to research on it, and probably apply for a loan. Because I have clients that they call me and they're like, I want to get a loan. How much do you want to take? I mean, this is the most important question. What do you need the money for? How much? As much as I can. You know, I was like, you gotta keep the priorities straight with me. I mean, tell me exactly what you're trying to build, because I want to give you my best advice. I could pump you with hundreds of thousands of dollars, but this could hurt you. This could not help you succeed. This could put you in big trouble, because you would not be able to handle it. And after I get you this 100,000 thousands of dollars, you would need more just to cover the other one. And this is a never-ending cycle.
Cycle, yeah.
You know?
Building off what you said, right? You deal with a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs who always think sometimes they need capital. What in some case scenarios they're naive, right? They only see the wins or they only see success. They don't see the other side of success where it's a lot of failures. What's kind of the biggest thing that you see most young entrepreneurs or business owners not see, like the other side of the coin, that leads to their downfall when it comes to loans or needing capital?
You know, it's not having the right plan. It's not having at least a plan set up for the next year. This is something that they can mess the whole year. If you don't finish the previous year right, you made the taxes. You don't have to wait half a year to do them. You gotta have them ready at the end of the year, and then put the plan on the paper. You know, I'm helping people with this. I'm like sitting with them. I'm like, so tell me what you want to build, and I'm giving them an honest response. Sometimes they don't like it, but most of the time I see people, they are taking feedback naturally, and they actually want to improve themselves, and they don't want to lose time on actually hearing the wrong things. Because right now I even see this period where people are actually asking specifically for the truth, because they've been hearing a lot of people been consulting, a lot of people been saying, okay, we can do this and this, but the moment they come to me, like, all of them, they have experienced a lot of other business people that been promising this, and by the time they get to me, because I'm not so popular though, but it's through acquaintances and so on, and they want to hear the truth. And the biggest thing is to, after they've been hurt, let's say so, by not being taught the right people to do the right business plan and to get capital on that. Like you told me, like the young entrepreneurs not having the right direction. I gotta regain back their trust, put them on the right feet, and actually taking the hardest part of this job, actually being with this client on the line and giving him time, giving him time to explain to you his story, you know, to tell him his emotions, to get a connection. And if you can do that, if you can, you know, listen, put yourself in his shoes and giving him the time, even though it's limited, it's only sometimes I had days I couldn't even sleep, you know. It's I had days where I worked 4 days in a row. It's hard to say, but if you gotta get something done, you gotta get it done.
What do you mean 4 days in a row?
4 days no sleep. 4 days no sleep. That's when I was building it. That's when I was building it. I was leaving it alone, and I had the vision so straight up, you know. And this vision is fueling you. It's giving you enough power. You don't need anything else. You go to the gym, do eat good, you know, and don't try to overstimulate yourself, you know, and going to parties and so on. This is something that the younger generation should experience. You
I
know?
want to emphasize on this because
Yeah.
he said something that separates successful people from those that want to be successful, which is working for 4 days in a row without sleep. That's the moments that we all have when we have to push through, and we don't have the stamina to push through those moments. But you don't need to have that kind of lifestyle for the rest of your life. But there are few moments throughout your path in your life, maybe it's a year, maybe it's a 2, maybe it's 3 years, when you need to just put your head down and go through those moments. And that's what's going to separate you from the wannabe,
Yeah.
you know, to an actual successful person.
Yeah, I think all successful people have gone through times in their life where they don't sleep. Because, like he said, the dream just keeps you up. Like it keeps you up because you're like, what am I missing? Where am I not clicking? And you finish those 3-4 days, and you still haven't figured it out, but you just keep pushing through slowly.
I'll open to one more thing here. So what Vlad started saying is you don't have to keep going through all these phases all your life. This is temporary.
Yeah.
This is when you achieve a milestone and you can sleep as a baby, you know. You have everything set it up, the schedule, you have the software set it up so that everything that you did before that was so hard, so demanding emotionally and physically and mentally, you have
it's
something
set up,
else. Yeah, it's
structure
set
now.
up. You know, you don't have to stay awake for 4 days. This is a short period, you know. But if you can overcome it, if you can put the right pressure at the right time, because this is where it matters.
Yeah.
This is where you don't know if you're gonna have, because the way that I work is I don't know if clients are gonna call me tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough income tomorrow to cover all my expenses. I gotta stay compliant.
Because you
I
work
gotta
for
stay
yourself.
woke. Yeah.
You work for yourself.
This is
Yeah, people forget that. I think that's the big thing, right? Is like we have a check coming in. It's obviously commission based, so it's never guaranteed for any of us. You know, some months are better than other months. Some months they're self-doubt, right?
So it's semi-entrepreneurial.
So semi-entrepreneur, but still, you're still an employee.
yeah.
It's not that it's bad to be an employee, but you have to do what you said, is start your own business and go through those challenges. I mean, you say it all the time, Brennan, like, if we want to continue receiving checks from people, then we would be employees for the rest of our life. But if we can somehow get through that moment, right, that breakthrough moment, then we can start earning for ourselves and going through those challenges anyways. But knowing, like Adrian said, it's like for a bigger reason. It's not just because we don't want to receive checks anymore. It's because we'll have a legacy at the end of it. We'll leave something for our families at the end of it.
And a lot of people want to have a business, they want to be entrepreneurs, they want to start their own thing, but they complain about not having enough time on the evenings after their 9 to 5, not having enough days off, not having enough vacations. And then when you start your own business, like I did when I quit my job, I was like, what the fuck? like I can't even watch TV in the evening because
Hell
I'm under
no.
so much pressure. Like I thought that I
I
work
don't watch
hard.
TV.
I thought that I work hard. Now I actually have to work really hard, where I work every single hour of my day, and that takes a lot of
It's the
mental strength that not everyone has, or not everyone can even like go through.
Yeah, because I've already said it in previous podcasts. Like, we can't have everybody be an entrepreneur. We have to have average people in the
We
world,
definitely can't have everyone to be
because then you have a lot of combativeness. Is all I'm saying. Is like at work, right? People come up to you and I. Oh, we want to be in your videos. Oh, we want to like, you know, they come and bother me. I'm more talkative than you because I play more of the social game.
Mm.
Right? Like I'll need to know like what your position is with me, because then when I need you, I can utilize you. My dad's always said that. He's like, you play a game of who can be your assistant when you need it type of thing. Not for you, but like today, like one of the employees, I took on a delivery, right? Remember what I told you, doing a $10 activity, and you taught me this, doing a $10 activity and you're a $250 an hour person, it's not worth the $10 activity. But cognitively, I was like, let me take on the $10 activity. But because I'm buddy with Adrian, let's say, Adrian, can you do this portion of that $10 activity? Which basically I rebought back some of my time. But I just did it in a strategic way. I played my cards out. Like, can you just do this as a favor for me without having to pay for it? Now, there's other times that you're going to need certain things from people. And so if you don't play that game properly, just like we did yesterday, that costed me $1,000 in commission, in the long run, that $1,000 can either be I wanted that money for the commission slip, or in the long run, it's going to help me have a friend when I need it most, or an acquaintance when I need some help, and I can rely on that. So for 5 years, I now have a relationship versus taking away 5 years of a relationship for $1,000. It doesn't make sense. So you got to always move the chess piece a certain way to be on top of everything. Yeah. But just going back to what you were thinking, Vlad, it's like I don't move the same way as Vlad. Vlad's very like straight path. Like nobody bothers Vlad. But I sit in a position at work where everybody passes me. And so if you're not social, then people start to have like a bad reputation. And your reputation means more than anything in this world. Your reputation is how you'll get paid later in life. If you're known to be schemy or not pleasant to be around, you're not going to receive more money and more referrals and more business, like you said. So your reputation has to be very strong. People need to know that they want to give you your money. They can trust you with your money. Yeah. So I play that game a lot. And to be more tact, and I've learned that from you a lot. Be very tact. Which you're a lawyer, your background's being a lawyer, and that means like saying the right things at the right time. And I'm learning that right now. Like, it's hard when people, right, they know your age, so they judge you off the bat. Like, why would I listen to a younger person like that? But if you're tact and logical like Vlad, it pays in the end that you're saying the right things. Because Vlad said a great comment yesterday, like, if it doesn't make sense, then it doesn't make sense. Like, you need common sense for it to be logical at that point. So you need to do things with common sense.
Well, it takes... go ahead, Brad.
Go.
Yeah. Adrian, I have a question for you. I asked every guest, or the last episode was our first guest. This is our second guest.
And we appreciate that, by the way. Thank you for coming on the channel.
Thank you. What would your message be to the youth, right? Or even to your younger self? We have a younger audience that all aspire to be better, to be successful to some degree. What would that message be to the youth?
Just want. You gotta have the feeling of just wanting to do something. But if you don't have this feeling, try to ask the seniors, because everything they want to teach us is how to be better than them, and develop the figure that you can listen to a person. You can stay and listen to a person, hear his stories, hear his past experiences, future wanna do, and uh, try to get as much from listening, and not trying to give out opinions. And if you feel that that person has something to say, and probably if they wouldn't have anything to say, but just listen. It's we we just we don't have control on the outside events, and how they happen, and what we're gonna witness in a day. We have control on our actions, and if you can evolve this control on everything that's from interior, and you can just stay and control that little voice in your head saying, say something. You don't have to listen to it sometimes, but sometimes you gotta listen to it. You gotta find the right voice inside of you, and you just gotta stay stoic. I liked when you said stoic, because I knew from the beginning here we had a lot in common. When I was younger, I did listen to a lot of quotes that Marcus Aurelius had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to have an example for this period of time, go to him. He was a Roman emperor, one of the five greatest Roman emperors. They were a lot, but don't get me wrong. He had a pandemic in his reign. Uh, he had a lot of plague. His Roman Empire was crumbling. He had to keep calm. Keep calm in the seeing the danger in front and being calm. It's one of the strongest values you could have as a person, not a man. I'm not saying this, but when you are calm, and calculated, logical, and if you're not, you can always evolve it. You can always evolve it,
Yeah.
and try to learn how to like reading. Probably listening. I'm more of a audio person, or I like to have something in my hand, just to watch, just to read. And books is one of the best, because books were with us for thousands of years. And imagine this Roman emperor that we're talking about, he wrote a book, and that's his memories about what he witnessed, and he put every of his experiences in that book. But he didn't meant for that book to become public ever.
I have that book.
Yeah, so he wrote everything in that book as it was for him. And you gotta admire it, because there's a lot of the things that happened at that point in time, thousands of years ago. It's so relevant.
Yeah.
It's like nothing changed. The
Nothing.
human nature, nothing changed.
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
And
It's
It's
your
just, I mean, before that they had carriages with four wheels. So right now we have
Yeah.
cars with bigger engines, so on. But the human nature is the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the inner Athena. It's making sure you listen to that voice in your head, but controlling it. I think he said in the quote, like your biggest enemy is your mind,
Yeah.
right? Like it's what you think about, and until you learn to control that portion of your mind, you won't ever be like where you need to be in life. So you have to always control your mind. You were gonna say something, Vlad.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Adrian. The more we talk and spend time together, like the wisdom that you have as a 23-year-old. I mean, if you think about it, you were born in 2003,
2002.
2002.
It's crazy.
So, like, I really, with you being here, have a lot of confidence in the younger generation, because if you're representative of the younger generation from my country, from doesn't matter where you're from, I think there are plenty of young people that read, that think, that are analytical, that want to know history, and not only that, but immigrants. There is a lot, being an immigrant in this country is a hot topic right now. There is a lot of protests, there is a lot of conflicts, and there is a lot of different opinions in this country. But listen, if we don't have someone like him shown with his own example and hunger for success and proof of success in this country, I don't think this country will be what it is now and will grow as it has been in the last 100 and 200 years. It's been built on immigrants. And if this country loses its touch, having people like him enter this country, I don't think it will grow as it had been in the last 200 years. So a lot of young people should learn from Adrian. And we didn't talk about a lot of things like the nitty gritty. How do you become like you in terms of, little steps? But normally those people that want to know the little steps, they never take action. Like I'm doing the one-on-one individual private consultations right now on sales, how to enter the field where I work. And I see a lot of these people overcomplicate things.
Yeah, they're curious.
If you want to start something, you should have absorbed enough information just from this conversation to actually start something and go and fucking do something. Because if you just overthink and you doubt yourself and all you want to just like read and not take action, you're never going to get anywhere. And I think the number one thing that you should learn from this podcast, from this person, is take fucking action. If someone from a different country, from other side of the planet, came here, didn't speak as, I'm sure, good of an English as you do now 3 years ago, didn't have all the support, parents and, money support, didn't have the college degree here and can fucking drive an AMG, brand new AMG right now, over $100,000, live in LA by himself, support probably his girlfriend, I don't know.
Supporting each other,
Yeah, like,
but it's impressive.
If that's not an example for you, then you should, keep dreaming about success.
Yeah.
You have anything you want to add, Brendan, before the podcast ends tonight?
Take action, right? There is no, age requirement to, reach a certain goal or reach, whatever you consider success, right? We have a young entrepreneur here at the age of 23, defying what people say is not possible and what not, earning what people probably never earn in 5 to 10 years in a single year. So take action. The quicker you're willing to fail and get back up is the quicker, you can reach that destination.
Yeah. And this isn't, family money, right? We see a lot of wealthy people, younger kids come in, daddy's money, mommy's money, and they're wealthy, right? This is actually a podcast for young entrepreneurs that are trying to start something for themselves. So just remember, individuals like myself, I haven't made it to success yet, but it's always a blessing to be in the presence of someone chasing dreams and starting something like Adrian's done. It's a blessing to sit in front of Vlad, who's trying to also create a dream for himself and his family. And it's always a blessing to have Brendan in my corner, because these people that you have in your life, that you have around you, are only going to either break you or make you, because your environment, like we talked about, decides whether you're going to be successful or not. And I think I just want the audience to know that. Surround yourself with people that have the same mindset so you can end up winning in life. You can learn from other people. You can grow with other people. But if you don't have the right people around you, like Adrian said in the beginning of the podcast, you'll become zombified by just being around complacent people. And you don't want that. If the rules are no phones at the table, then that's just a business thing, right? When you do business and you talk, then you just turn it over. You may not need to put it away, right? We just be respectful when you do the turnover, right? It's just simple things like that. Your environment's going to be what you see and watch on your phone. So if it's always fed with dumb shit, it's going to be something that you do every day, is watch dumb shit. If you feed it with something that's going to provide education, ability to push forward, it's going to help you grow in life.
Yeah.
Adrian, we're going to go ahead and leave your information below this video in the description, so people can reach out to you if they need a professional who can help them with the credit repair. I recommend all of my customers to you that maybe came to this country not that long ago, or been here and something happened to their credit, and you've been helping them and they're happy so far. So I'll leave your information, or maybe someone who started the business or has been in business, maybe someone from our community that have been watching this podcast, so they can reach out to you and do business with you. And I'll let you say anything if you'd like to add or haven't said anything today, and we're gonna wrap up this podcast.
Yeah. So one more thing I would like to say to you guys: it's having a 100 credit score is not that hard. It's really easy, and getting a business loan, it's still not that hard. You just gotta want it. You just gotta want it. You just gotta email me or message me or whatever. And if you're in need of needing this type of service, is if you want it, I'm gonna even want it even more to help you get to that point, because it's not that impossible. And when I hear and I see people that are not having the right advice and the right place where they can have access to all these opportunities that I'm, I'm having access to it right now, because I was not that fast, in spending the little credit that I received. The types of limits that I have right now for some people that have been living here, it's like it's crazy. The reactions that I see, it's like it's making me still thinking that it's even more to this. And I wanna say to all you guys here, every dream, every business opportunity that stumbles upon your way, never say no to it. Just try to listen. Maybe there's gonna be something that is gonna change your life for forever, And if you have something that you wanna try, and it's somebody in your head saying that no, don't do it, or keeping you from achieving it, just walk away. Don't feed that wolf, because that wolf, that doubt wolf that you're feeding with all those emotions, it's gonna make you that person. But if you're feeding the wolf that is gonna achieve something, that wanna get his prey, wanna achieve that part, nevertheless, it's gonna happen. Because I saw people, and it's not that. Uh, Probably the most inspiration that I received and I saw from people that were actually wealthy, not rich, but wealthy. It's how humble they are.
Yeah.
How humble they are. You're gonna speak to them, they're like you're speaking with a normal person, but they have millions.
Yeah, that's
They have
normal.
hundreds of jobs there. They're responsible for they're riding private jets and so on. But this is not inspiring for them. It's just they're being able to spread the word to more people, and teaching that. I mean, it's not that like they're specifically making this type of behavior just to impress somebody. This is the type of person they are, and the people that I see that were acting like a rich, asshole guy, and be like really ignorant, and making all these faces and showing all this money, being flashy. No, this is not rich, and it's good that I've been taught the right priorities of how to be wealthy. And
Yeah.
it's mind and it's body, and it's being able to have everybody in good health around you, and being happy that you're around with them, and that you're according your time with them. This is and having somebody caring about you, because making all this money wouldn't matter if you would have somebody to spend it with,
Yep. It's
Having
true.
the right person to spend it with, this is the best thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm glad that you touched on this before we ended the podcast, because we touched on a lot of things, how to be successful, but this is where it starts. If you're a person of integrity, people will like you, and things will come to you easier, come your way easier, and universe and God will help you. And it starts with being a person of integrity. I noticed that the wealthier the person I deal with, the nicer they are. the more humble they are. But don't get me wrong, if you do something, against them or disrespect them, they will bite you back.
Yeah.
So they have their
Yeah.
boundaries.
Yeah.
But if nobody wants anything to add, I'm gonna end this podcast. I think we've really enjoyed this.
You have anything to add before we end it out?
Appreciate you coming.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
I really appreciate the time spending.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us until the end of the podcast. Don't forget to hit subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace.
Boom.